there, fellow Star Wars fans. It's been a little while, but I'm glad to say welcome back to another episode of For the Love of Star Wars. Today we are finally talking about the long-awaited Kenobi series. For me, much like many other Star Wars fans, this was my highest anticipated series for Star Wars on Disney Plus since even before it was announced. I just finished watching the first 2 episodes, and before we get into any spoiler territory from the first couple of episodes, I just want to say that these first 2 are exactly what I was looking forward to out of a show centered on Obi-Wan Kenobi at this point in his life. Knowing that there are 4 more episodes on the way, I am beyond hyped up to see where they take it. Moving on into part 1, and just a warning, this section of the video will contain spoilers, so if you haven't seen it yet and you don't want anything spoiled, click to this timestamp. Okay, so right away they set the stage with the amazing recap of Obi-Wan's time throughout the prequel films. Well, him and the downfall of his apprentice Anakin Skywalker. This prequel supercut had me so excited because this is the height of my time with Star Wars. The prequels will always hold a special place in my heart, and the moments chosen are some of the most beautiful and important moments throughout the entire overarching story of the original 6 films. Starting the actual episode in the Jedi Temple during Order 66 instantly drew me in. This is the most crucial moment in the Star Wars timeline explored in canon, and to see it yet again from another angle is always just so interesting. We cut to Tatooine 10 years later and witness the Inquisitors doing what they do, hunting down Jedi. I know there was some debate about the visual design for the Grand Inquisitor, but it really works for me. We're also introduced to Riva, or the third sister, in this scene. Prior to the show, I was interested to see what role her character would play, and I'm really looking forward to see how her story develops, though I do have some ideas of what may happen, and I'll mention that later in the video. And then, finally, after all the years of hoping and waiting, we see Obi-Wan Kenobi working a low-paying civilian job, living life on the low. I think this scene perfectly demonstrates the defeat Obi-Wan felt even a decade later. After the events of his life, he is broken down, beaten, and submitted to a life of simplicity. This is exactly the Obi-Wan Kenobi myself and so many others expected and wanted. Obi-Wan's PTSD Force Dream flashes some more epic moments from the prequels, and he calls out to his master Qui-Gon, hearing no response. When a Jedi Nari recognizes him and pleads for help, Obi-Wan offers him the advice that he should abandon the fight and that the time of the Jedi is over. Even at the lowest point in his life, he is determined to keep his word and serve as the protector of Luke. He purchases a gift for Luke from a Jawa he's come to know. Uncle Owen promptly returns it, and we see the moment from the trailer of Uncle Owen burning Obi-Wan harder than the lava on Mustafar. The townspeople are interrogated by Riva and the 5th brother. Riva demonstrates her viciousness and takes off an old woman's hand. She focuses on Uncle Owen, and Riva threatens Beru and Luke as well. Obi-Wan watches in horror. The 5th brother stops and reprimands her for her reckless behavior. I love this scene because it excellently plays out the relationship between the lesser dark side users, as in not the 2 main Sith. The 5th brother calls Riva out as she admits she is searching specifically for Obi-Wan. The other side of this story, we visit Alderaan with a young Leia Organa. Oh wait, just kidding, that's not Leia. That's right, 10-year-old Princess Leia running around being a wild child, but also demonstrating so many qualities of the character we already know and love. I found the scenes with young Leia to be so adorable and wholesome. I absolutely love this decision. Leia being one of the legacy characters, I was beyond thrilled to see a new chapter in her story to be adapted into live action as well. The visual design on Alderaan was stunning, and for me, added serious weight to the impact of the original Death Star scene from A New Hope, as well as the moment with Bail. It was an incredible family moment, and I really enjoyed it. Sassy kid Leia is absolutely hilarious and amazing, and if anyone tries to diss on this child actor, I will show you what it really means to witness a night of 1,000 tears. Then the biggest surprise in the episode for me, bassist of the Red Hot Chili Peppers Flea shows up as a bounty hunter named Vect Nuru, who's hired by Riva. You see, Riva is not only vicious, but she's smart. All along, capturing Leia is her plan to weed Obi-Wan out. So of course, the Organas reach out to Obi-Wan, and he initially denies their request. Obi-Wan sees the lifeless body of Jedi Nari hanging in the streets. Returning to his home, he finds Bail Organa himself himself, who convinces Obi-Wan to do what is right. He gives Obi-Wan the same advice about his past: move on and be done with it. Obi-Wan returns to the desert and retrieves a box where he has buried his as well as Anakin's lightsabers. After this, he boards a transport vessel and sets off to the planet Daiyu in search of the young princess. And that concludes episode 1. And now we're going to be moving into part 2, but before we go further, if you've made it this far, go ahead and click the like button and subscribe so we can talk some more about Kenobi throughout the rest of the series. Obi-Wan has arrived on Daiyu, a new planet in the Star Wars galaxy. Tamora Morrison making an appearance as an aged and homeless clone veteran begging in the streets that hit me right in the feels.
Spare any credits. Help a veteran get a warm meal.
A young spice peddler slips Obi-Wan a free dose. We then meet Haja Estri, a fake Jedi using remotes and magnets to mimic force powers, taking advantage of people just to make some credits. Obi-Wan confronts and exposes him, and he then threatens him in exchange for information. Obi-Wan devises a plan. As a worker in a spice lab where the captors are holding Leia, he demonstrates that even after a decade in solitude, he can still deliver one hell of a Jedi butt-whooping. He is led to a decoy and confronted by the bounty hunters. Obi-Wan, being the master he is, takes his chance and drops the spice on the ground using a gas mask for protection and locks the assailants in the cell. He finds Leia and they escape the facility. Leia continuously questions Obi-Wan on his status as a Jedi, clearly not fully grasping the full scale of the situation at hand. Her intuition and maturity shocks even Obi-Wan as she reads him like an open book. The back and forth between Obi-Wan and Leia is truly so genuine and funny because these two characters are both so witty and clever. The sassy energy between the two of them is incredible. The Grand Inquisitor confronts Riva, and after learning of her motivations in capturing Kenobi, he reminds her of her status among them and orders her to stop her pursuit. So she immediately goes out and places a massive bounty on Obi-Wan so that the entire planet basically is aware of his presence. The Imperials lock down the planet as to trap Obi-Wan. After Obi-Wan attacks a bounty hunter, Leia discovers the bounty on him and is frightened and distrustful. She runs away, and as Obi-Wan pursues her, he is forced to protect her and himself from a rain of blaster fire coming from various hunters after the bounty on Kenobi's head. After using the Force to save Leia from a deadly fall, all is forgiven in her eyes, and she trusts Obi-Wan to take care of her the rest of the way. Haja expresses to Obi-Wan that he does want to display some effort of goodness, and he decides to try to help buy him and Leia some time and provide them a landing platform so that they could escape off-world. Riva absolutely hands it to Haja, throwing him with the Force and invading his mind, displaying true power in the Force. Riva, as well as the Grand Inquisitor, pursue our duo to the cargo port. Before they arrive, Obi-Wan and Leia have a conversation where Leia reminds Obi-Wan of Padme, as we know, Leia's biological mother. This moment really hit me in the feels, so I just had to say something about it. Obi-Wan hides while Leia prepares a shuttle for takeoff. Riva taunts Obi-Wan and reveals to him what we, the audience, already know. Lord Vader, Anakin Skywalker,
is alive.
This news is clearly world-shattering for Kenobi. The Grand Inquisitor shows up and orders Riva off. In her rage and arrogance, she drives her lightsaber through his body and allows Kenobi and Leia to escape. We obviously know that the Grand Inquisitor does not die necessarily from this event because Rebels exists, but we do know that he definitely got a little messed up. Obi-Wan stands shaken, and Leia asks if he's okay. He utters the name, Anakin. And then, for the first time since Revenge of the Sith, Hayden Christensen returns as Darth Vader, an unmasked close-up zooming out of his bacta-tank. This moment alone had me so excited about what's next, and I really hope that this next episode is going to focus heavily on this Dark Lord of the Sith. So just to again emphasize my opinions on these first two episodes, these first two parts were the perfect setup to what I can only imagine is going to play out to be a legendary series. But what did you think? Leave a comment down below letting me know what you thought or what some of your favorite moments were from these first couple of chapters. That's about it for this one. Thank you so much for watching, and if you're still with us, why not hit that like button and go ahead and subscribe for future Kenobi and other Star Wars content. Until next time, may the Force be with you. Oh, and I think Vader is totally gonna ice Riva and kill her, calling it right now.